What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome to Spotlight On. I'm your host, Ashley Marie, and we're hanging out here in studio with actor Sloane Morgan Siegel. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Sounds good. Hey, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to Spotlight On. As I said, we are so lucky to have the opportunity to hang out here in studio with actor Sloane Morgan Siegel. He is actually going to be starring in a brand new show on BYU TV. He'll be playing Dwight on Dwight in Shining Armor, so we'll be chatting with him about that. Sloane, thank you so much for coming here and hanging out with me.
Yeah, thank you for talking to me.
I appreciate it. So what song is this? You put me up on game with this song. What song is this?
With this song? Actually, this is a different song.
Oh, this is not the song.
This is not the song.
Okay.
But if I, let me see if I can hear it, because I know all group loves music. I'm a big fan.
Okay. It sounds good. I like it.
Okay, it's a good one. I think it's not Hollywood. It's spinning. It's spinning.
Okay.
Spinning.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a good one.
We threw you for a loop on that.
Yeah, you did. Hey, but I know it. I know my
But
group love. I have all of the merch.
Exactly, and I wasn't sure who Group Love was, but you kind of schooled me before we came on air. So.
Yeah. I actually almost wore my group love shirt today. So
yeah. Speaking of music, what's on your playlist right now?
On my playlist right now,
vibing to?
I'm vibing with Alabama Shakes. A lot of Alabama Shakes. I just got into Jacob Agawa.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who else? A lot. Beck, Vampire Weekend. Oh, Vampire Weekend just dropped 2 new songs after an eternity.
Okay.
So I'm listening to that. It's Harmony Hall in 2021. I'm just a really, really big music fan. I actually just went to see Elton John on his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour with my mom, because you got to go to concerts with your mom.
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm sure your mom appreciated that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get a chance to meet Elton?
I did not, but I sat almost right in front of him.
Okay.
We got there and we were sitting like kind of in the pit, and I said to my mom, I was like, did you know we were gonna be this close? And she looked at me and she was like, honey, never doubt my ticket buying skills.
Hello.
And so we got to. I made eye contact with him at one point in the concert.
Yeah, and he saw you, you saw him.
Yeah, it was
and
one
you
of
guys
those.
are
He
like
pointed
friends
at
now.
me. He was like, hey. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, Elton John, that's a classic.
Yeah, it was great.
You can't miss that.
You really can't. I mean, especially on a farewell tour. I mean, all artists say eventually, like, oh, it's the farewell tour, but I'll be back. But
Right.
but I think he's really retiring. But man, can that guy still play the piano?
Yeah, he's a goat. He's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of singing, people may not know this about you, but you're actually an actor. You're a singer and a dancer.
Yeah.
So you're trained in all 3.
I'm trained, not super well, but I'm pretty trained.
Yeah. I think you're doing pretty okay.
Thanks. I started out in dance, actually. I started in hip hop, and I started acting right after that because one of the choreographers said, hey, you look pretty weird and you can dance. You should start acting. I was like, all right.
Okay. I guess you could take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the whole reason why you're here is to chat about a new role that you've taken on as Dwight in Shining Armor. It's on BYU TV.
Absolutely.
It airs in March 2019.
Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your role and this whole new world you're entering into with the show. But first, I do want to tease the trailer and give people an idea of what this is all about. Check it out.
It was his kiss that woke you.
No, total accident. No, I fell on my face. And you were under it.
This is the champion we've been waiting for. Someone with the skills to defeat the princess's hordes of enemies.
Hey, who's your friend?
Her Royal Highness Princess Greta!
The Renaissance Fair is setting up right over there.
Oh, no, harmless peasant. Every guy you see is not trying to kill you. Okay, that guy's trying to kill you.
I am from the lineage of King Osric the Grim.
You know, that's nothing to worry about. She's kind of a drama queen. buddy. Smile.
You are not the champion I expected.
And you are? I'm Dwight. Dwight?
Sir Dwight.
The activities chair.
I'm excited.
All right, I'm excited too. I can't wait to see it. They've shown me nothing, so.
Yeah. So who is Dwight? What is Dwight all about?
Who is Dwight?
Dwight in shining armor.
What's he all about? He's just your average guy that's just trying to do the right thing. He's always on a schedule. He's always helping out friends and family in need. And one day, a friend asks him, "Hey, can you get a picture of this local animal in the forest for me for a school project? I've got other things to do." And Dwight, being the helper he is, he decided, "Yeah, sure, I'll go ahead." He goes into the forest, accidentally falls into a 1,000-year-old buried castle from some sort of hidden buried timeline of medieval times in America. And he lands lip to lip with a princess and wakes her up, classic, wake up the princess story,
Yes.
but with a twist because she's this amazing sort of badass princess who knows how to fight and take care of herself, and she does not need a champion. The whole point of the champion spell was someone that could defeat hordes and hordes of enemies, just an army's worth of villains, and they got me.
Right.
So I wake her up, I wake up her court magician, I wake up her entire world, and it's a half-hour comedy series, and it's just about worlds colliding. It's about them sort of adapting to modern times. It's about modern times sort of accepting them for who they are, because it's set in a world where a dragon could go down the street, or like a wizard could go down the street, and someone would be like, "Oh, they're just being them."
Right.
And yeah.
One thing I noticed is that your comedic timing just on the trailer alone was like,
Thank you
on
very much.
par.
Thanks.
Did you have to prepare a lot for that? Because acting is one thing, right? And then comedy is kind of like a world in its own.
Oh
right?
yeah, comedy's like a symphony. I act musically when it comes to comedy.
Okay.
If I say something and my pitch is just a little bit off, I don't feel like my joke landed, I do it again. It's all about inflection and how you say it. It's the setup, it's the build, it's the turn. There's an absolute science to comedy. And when I did Gordimer, Gibbon's Life on Normal Street, which is a show I did a while back for Amazon, I played sort of the guy that the joke sets up with, and then my friend was the punchline. But now I have to be the punchline, and it's such a big responsibility to be the punchline, because it's if you're not funny, the show's not funny.
Right.
And everybody gets their own time to shine as far as the humor goes in the show. But yeah, it's a big burden to take on, and I take it very seriously.
Yeah, you did. You're doing a great job. Just from what I saw, did you do any stand-up comedy to prepare for this role?
Thanks. No, I've been thinking about it actually. I've been thinking about trying some stand-up. I got some stories I could tell in a comedic manner.
Yeah, I think that would be good. There's a lot of stages here in LA, so you'll definitely have a place to go to practice if you want to do that.
Like a pen name and everything.
Yeah. How did you prepare for the role of Dwight? Like, did you have to do anything different to get ready for it?
As far as the role for Dwight, like for the pilot, I just learned my lines, and I tried to I overanalyzed every joke. Yeah. And of course there were things thrown in. I'm actually surprised by the amount of improv that made it into the show. As far as all the episodes go and the pilot goes. But yeah, no, it's like any other role. I prepare by building the character. I build the experiences around his life. A thing that is touched on a little bit about Dwight is that his parents died in a plane crash when he was very young, and he was raised by his nana.
Wow.
So him and his nana are really, really close, and they don't have a whole lot of other family. So I sort of built that background, and a lot of humor comes out of tragedy as well, because all the best comedic actors always have a lot of sad things
Personal
go on.
tragedies.
Yeah. But the point of humor is to take away the pain of tragedy and be able to look at it in a better light. So yeah.
Okay. So I did want to ask you, now a lot of people may not know this, so I'm going to go ahead and just list your accolades because I was so impressed with the amount of awards you have.
Oh, thank you.
So in 2015, 2016, and 2017, you won Best Actor Award as a lead in a TV series, and that was presented by the Young Artist Awards. In 2017, you won Best Teen Actor. And then you've won 16 festival awards. You've actually won an award for every film that you've been in.
Almost every film. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of short films. So
whatever preparation you're doing, you're doing a great job, and you're doing it at a high level. So I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but just expound on that just a little bit more. Like, what do you do to get ready for your roles? For all the young aspiring actors out there,
sure, yeah.
that are wondering, like, how do I get to Sloane's level?
Well, it's an interesting level.
Yeah.
No, as far as breaking down a role, when it's a comedy, you have to look at the script, like I said earlier, like it's a song, and like every note has to be exact. And when you're working in, a mockumentary type style or a single cam dark comedy, sometimes that's not as exact. Sometimes it's more free flowing, and it's about the clunkiness of the script that makes it funny. But as far as when you're doing single cam comedy that's not dark or a little bit lighthearted, or say you're doing a sitcom, it is definitely musical. I mean, I've been on shows where you get the word "the" wrong and they say "do it again," because it's written so strategically that if you don't say it exactly how, the joke might not land, or maybe you say it your own way and it's a little bit funnier. But it's all about breaking it down and looking for those builds and those turns. As far as drama goes, I get lost in characters a lot. I just did a guest spot on NCIS, which premieres, I think, February 19th.
Nice.
I'm not too sure. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
But for that role, it was a very tortured soul. It was someone who, lost his father a long time ago, and is dealing with that. And to do that, I have to. Since I'm a little bit method, I separated myself from my parents for a little bit. I was like, I'm just gonna hang out in my room. I'm going to do a little bit of attention to detail. I learn my lines, and then I show up on the day, and I kind of put myself through the experiences lifetime every time. And as far as another thing with process is that, and I will remember it later because I just forgot it. Because there are just so many different things as far as acting. I mean, I've been training for a really long time.
A long time.
With the same studio.
Yeah.
I did a couple other studios here and there, but Zach Barnett has been my coach for like 8 years.
Wow.
And I actually teach with him now.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
The tables have turned. So I did want to ask you, which role out of all the roles that you've played, which role would you say most aligned with who you are? Or
Dwight.
Maybe Dwight?
Yeah,
for
Dwight.
sure. Okay.
Gordimer was, I did that show for 3 years, and Gordimer was, he was similar to me, but only because that was my time growing up. That show was through my puberty years.
Right.
And when you're going through puberty, you got to figure out who you are. And I lived all those years growing up as someone else.
Yeah.
And then I realized after it ended, it was like, I'm not him. I got to find out who I am. And I kind of found out who I was. And then Dwight came along, and it was like, I'm going to amplify those aspects of me, and I'm going to turn that into something funny.
Right.
And I turned it into Dwight.
Yeah.
So he's just sort of an exaggerated version of me.
Yeah. I love that. So what a lot of people may want to know, what have you been doing between your time as Gordimer and now as Dwight? Like what's been in between that?
In between. A few things here and there, a couple of guest spots here and there. I worked on the Goldbergs for a couple episodes. I did a show called Pure Genius for an episode, which didn't get renewed again, sadly, but it was a very good show. A couple of things here and there, not a whole lot.
Okay.
And that was due to right after Gordimer, I was at that age where you're not old enough to play the older roles, and you're also not old enough to play the younger roles or young enough to play the younger roles, because they could have someone that's 20 playing 15.
Right.
And when you're 15 going on 16, it's like, what do you do? And I took the Chesby, the California Chesby, which is a thing that can say, I can work as an adult now, legally teen. And then I tried to work. I did a feature film. I did a couple other things. Maybe that'll come out this year. That'll be good.
Yeah.
But I had a whole year where it was just nothing for a long time. And that gave me a lot of time to reflect and sort of think where I want my career to go next.
Right.
And a lot of it was due to I had a little bit of a skin condition going on. I have eczema, which is really hard when you're an actor.
Yeah.
Because you work with your face.
Yeah.
And if you got eczema on your face, it's hard to deal with. So I struggled with that for a while, and I found better means of dieting and environment and just taking better care of myself and working through that. And then after that, I started booking again. And yeah.
That's pretty inspiring too, because it's like, you know, people see actors and actresses on television and they don't realize that they have personal things that they go through as well that they have to overcome. So that's pretty cool that you're open about sharing that.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if my hardships can give someone else inspiration, then by all means, you know. But yeah.
All right. And you've been doing, I noticed on your Instagram, I was telling you, I was Insta stalking you.
Yeah.
You travel a lot. I mean, you've been everywhere from Hawaii to New Orleans to, you know, you go everywhere. So what has been your favorite place to visit so far?
Oh man, I try to travel a lot. I mainly travel when I'm working on a show or something.
Okay.
Like when I went to Utah. We filmed Dwight in Utah for 6 months, and I went all over. I went to Shoshone Falls in Idaho. I went to Arches National Park. I think my 3 favorite places on the planet I've been to so far, though, I'd have to say Orcas Island in Washington, the Great Salt Lake or Antelope Island in Utah, and Kauai. Or Kauai.
Kauai. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Kauai is the
Beautiful.
best. It's so beautiful there. It was like.
Did you surf?
No, I don't know how.
Oh my gosh.
But I have a friend that's gonna teach me next time I go back.
Good,
I made a lot of friends in Hawaii.
Good.
Oh, hey guys, hey Uncle Danny, by the way.
Oh.
But yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Where's your bucket list place? Like, where do you have to go? Like, I have to go there.
Galapagos Islands.
Oh, okay.
When I was little, I didn't read normal books. I got the Smithsonian encyclopedia or like something like that, and I would just look up all the animals on the planet, and I would read about where they're from and their environment and the food, where they are in the food chain, and just everything about them, because I loved science. You know, I wanted to be a marine biologist until I was an actor. So yeah. So I really want to go to the Galapagos because it has so many species that are nowhere else in the world. Yeah. And you know, yeah. So.
And you can live out that dream.
Oh yeah.
At that point.
And I'm a big adventurer, so
yeah.
I love rock climbing, rappelling, diving, snorkeling, cave dwelling.
Cave dwelling. Wow.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I couldn't think of the other term.
Just hanging out in a cave.
Just exploring. Yeah. I went to a bunch of lava tubes in Hawaii. I actually went a mile down a lava tube alone because I'm stupid.
You're adventurous.
I'm adventurous. No, I'm a photographer as well in my spare time.
Nice.
And I took my camera and I went a mile down, and there's this bioluminescent bacteria that glows sort of a yellow, and it's only found in Hawaiian lava tubes. So I wanted to get it on.
So you had to get
camera.
that.
Yeah. But it's, man, when you're alone that far underground with no light, the only light is your headlight, like it's really scary. Like I had to walk back because if I ran back, I felt like something was chasing me.
Wow. Yeah. So this totally makes sense because you, and a lot of people may not know this, but you do a lot of your own stunts.
Yes.
So you're a very adventurous person.
Extremely.
What's the craziest stunt you've ever done?
Craziest stunt I've ever done. I've done a few that are questionable. I did one on Gordimer where I was supposed to fall off of a platform backwards. Falling backwards is terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, professional stuntmen and stuntwomen are it doesn't even faze them. But for me, I had to walk backwards and fall maybe 8 feet.
Jeez.
And land on my back, and there was this mat, and our stunt coordinator Chris Doyle said, he was like, all right, so you gotta count the paces, you gotta make sure you land, straight like this, don't land on your shoulder, all that stuff. And we did the scene. We were only gonna do it once. They said action. I did my thing. I backed up off. I took my step. I fell backwards. And when I fell, everyone clapped, and it was like the end, right? I get up, and Chris walks up to me and goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, why? And he goes, "You missed the mat." And I said, "What do you mean I missed the mat?" He said, "I moved the mat at the last second, but you missed the mat by like 5 feet.
Oh, no. So what did you fall on?
On the mat. He moved it at the last second, but I would have landed on concrete and either died or worse.
Oh my gosh.
But which I don't know what's worse, but yeah. No, it was dumb of me to not practice that more and ask for more safety. But on another note, I did another stunt on Dwight, actually, when you see the fall, right? I didn't do the initial fall, but the fall right before that I did. I'm supposed to leap out of frame, but like my legs got knocked under me, right? I have a little bit of a scar on my chin here because I had the camera you saw in the trailer. The corner of the camera was metal, and I landed right on it, and I got up and I stood up, and everyone was like, "Ah!" what did you do? And I was bleeding,
Bleeding and
yeah.
blood everywhere.
By the way, little note: if you put coffee grounds in a small wound, it heals it like instantly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm looking at
Yeah.
your chin. I don't see anything.
Yeah, that's what I did, and it's just healed it right away.
You look at you dropping gems today.
Yeah,
You're
man.
just schooling us on everything.
But yeah, no, I love stunts, and I love doing fight scenes and flips and falls and tumbles and
Well, on
all that.
fight scenes, are you actually hitting the other person?
Sometimes, yeah.
You are?
Sometimes.
Okay.
We had this stunt guy named Chester, who's a really great guy. He, I was in the
What
scene.
did you do to Chester?
So they're hanging me and Caitlin from a tree, right? And we're spinning in circles. And they're like, all right, so you need to swing, you need to gain momentum and kick Chester and knock him down. And I said, oh, well, we're pretty far. I don't know. I mean, or we're pretty close. I don't want to actually hurt him. And Chester grabbed me by the shoulder and he said, kick me. And I was like, okay. So we're hanging and we're swinging and we get it. And I went to kick and I kicked too soon. I was supposed to kick him in the back and I kicked him in the back of the head.
Oh no!
And he went down and he got back up and he shook my hand and gave me a big hug. He was like, that was awesome.
Oh my God, Chester!
He's so great.
Chester sounds pretty tough.
Yeah, he did a lot of the stunts almost all the stunts for Baldric.
Okay.
The court magician, and then he was also a featured character as one of the bandits, Macklin the Fox, who you'll learn is a really cool character. He's a twist on Robin Hood. He plays one of his main bandits.
Right. Nice. So you are very adventurous, to say the least.
Yeah.
All right. So you have this really cool quote on your Instagram. I told you I was stalking you.
Yes.
You said you never stop learning, no matter how much you think you've learned. Knowledge is important, and there's an unlimited amount of it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful quote. So I have to ask you, what would you say you're still learning, or what lesson do you think you've recently learned?
I've learned a lot in 18 years. I mean, it's like I haven't been here that long on this earth, but I'm trying to gather all the knowledge I can. So it was, what have I recently learned? Or
What have you?
something?
Yeah, what have you recently learned,
What have I recently learned?
or what are you still learning?
What am I still learning? I'm still learning everything, but I've recently learned that, you know, your actions have extreme consequences, you know, no matter who it is. Whether it's just a waving hello or a smile to someone just standing by. Just make sure that, you know, you're kind to everyone and you spread love and spread joy. I also have a quote on there that's I'm going to misquote myself, but it's if each person in the world made one person smile a day, everyone in the world
would be smiling. I was torn between which quote to use. I was like, I love that one. I love this one. I love that.
But yeah, no, it's you should always try and make at least one person smile a day.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then you're doing all right.
That's a great one.
yeah.
Did you come up with that yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm learning. I'm always learning to be more selfless than I already am, and
Okay.
I'm always learning to just to spread joy.
Yeah.
And I'm always learning about just sort of life and society as itself, and how to navigate that, and how to navigate it as, you know, a kid
Right.
who's just turned into an adult. And something I just recently learned as well is, like, now that I am an adult, you know, you can't just say, he's a kid. You know, you gotta take responsibility for everything, and you gotta be professional in every situation, and you just gotta act a little bit more adult. I mean, I'm still gonna be, you know, I'm still 10, but like, I'm still a
On the
nerd.
inside.
I'm a kid. Like, I'll always be a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what did you do for your 18th birthday?
So I went to Hawaii for my
Okay.
18th birthday.
Okay.
With a couple of my best friends in the whole world. We went to 3 of the many islands, and we just kind of spent a couple days here and there and explored and traveled, and it was amazing. So many waterfalls, so many beautiful sights, so many wonderful mornings and humid nights. I remember on my actual birthday, we went ocean rafting.
Wow.
And we went around to some. We went towards the sacred part of Kauai that you're not supposed to go to. So we didn't go there, but we went nearby it, and we snorkeled around this reef. And I was swimming, and I heard someone screaming under the water, and I was like, what is it? And I turned, and she was like waving at me to look. And as soon as I turned, there was this huge sea turtle the size of this table. It swam just right under me.
Wow.
And he must have been 100 years old. I mean, he was ancient.
Wow.
And it was an extraordinary sight.
Wow.
And it meant a lot to me because I'm very spiritual, and animals mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
I was raised on a rescue farm where we rescued over 200 different types of animals, whether it be goats, horses, bulls, anything. Anyway, right after that, we went to this restaurant on the beach, and we were just going to sit there and enjoy a luau. And what happened was it started raining.
Ooh.
A lot.
Okay.
Like to the point where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. But since I love the rain, of course, me's running in the rain. So I ran in the rain, and then we all huddled under this cabana and listened to music, and it was such a lovely night.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
So you're 18 now, but you actually started acting at the age of 8.
Yes.
So you've been doing this for a while.
I've been doing it a while. 10 years. 10 years.
So at what point did you realize, or did you tap mom on the shoulder and say, I want to pursue acting?
That's another funny story. When I was 8, I didn't know I was going to be an actor. And this is going to sound weird, but I didn't want to be an actor. It wasn't like I was like, Mom, I want to start acting. What happened was I was a dancer. Choreographer said, you should try acting. I said, all right, why not? I'm already doing funny voices for all my action figures and Hot Wheels cars. So I tried theater, and I loved it. I looked forward to it every week.
Wow.
And my mom heard something on the radio, one of those, possible scams that said, if you want your kid to be the next big star, bring them down to wherever. I was given a literal left or right decision. My mom's picked me up from school, and she said, you could either go to soccer practice, or you can go, or soccer playoff. It was a playoff game. I played soccer. Or you could go 3 hours away to something that could be a scam and try acting. And I was like, I want to try acting.
Let's try that possible scam, Mom.
Yeah. So we did it. We drove 3 hours away. It turned out to be this acting school. I got a scholarship.
Wow.
They trained me for a little bit and then sent me to a competition, which, and then after that, I got a manager, came out to LA with my dad, gave it a shot.
And now you're here.
Yeah, I actually booked something the first night I came here.
Really? What did you book?
It was just a lookalike. My dad had just signed me up for Actors Access. They said, we're looking for someone that looks like this kid. And he was like, yeah, you look like this kid. So he sent in the headshot. And they're like, all right, we want you there 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, Topanga Canyon.
Wow.
We were like, okay. I got Taft-Hartley the first day. I had one line. My first day in Hollywood, I was already SAG eligible.
Wow.
And it was just luck. You know? And but to touch more on like when I wanted to be an actor, right? I kind of went with the flow for a really long time because I was just enjoying it until I realized, and I was like, I can make a life out of this, and I love this, and I want to perform stories that people share for years to come. I want to do a film that people are analyzing in college lectures years to come. I want to maybe make a film one day that'll change a social issue or just make the world a better place. I want to tell stories, and I want people to find joy because of those stories. So what I did is I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing it. Kept being an actor. Years later, here we are, two shows later, a bunch of other things.
So I have to ask you, the soccer playoff game.
Yeah. I was defensive captain.
Was your coach and your teammates mad at you?
Yeah, they were mad. They were mad.
I'm sure that didn't go well.
I was defense, and boy was. I mean, we were like 8, so
yeah.
But still, they were mad.
They were mad.
Yeah.
Like what happened? I'm sure your mom got the looks.
I actually don't remember. I mean, it was so long ago, and I was so little.
We had there's your childhood photo we had up.
You
were, yeah.
Look at me, all dressed up. That was for an event my dad went to a long time. My dad started a technology corporation in the basement of our house when I was 3. Oh
wow!
And he's been growing it ever since, working hard. And we gave up like everything to start the company. And then for a couple of years we were working on it, and then he got it going, and it's been going great ever since. And that gave us the possibility or the opportunity to take me out to LA
to pick up and move here.
And I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for my amazing supportive parents.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have great parents.
Yeah.
They just kind of like, hey, this is what this kid likes. Let's go with it.
I mean, their 8-year-old had a dream, and they said, let's make it a reality. And they took me as far as they could, and then they said, now it's up to you.
Exactly.
And I kept going. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Just because I'm thankful. I really am.
Aww,
so yeah.
Yes. Oh, you really do have tears in your eyes.
Yeah, it's been a really long 8 years in LA.
Yeah.
And 9 years coming on. And yeah.
And you're doing wonderfully.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, as Dwight in shining armor.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years.
What's next?
Well, I'm a big fan of when shows have run their course.
Mm-hmm.
You say, okay, this is that. They have a plan for Dwight. Now, I don't know if we'll get all the seasons they have planned for, but hopefully we'll have 3 or 4 seasons, and then we'll have a solid ending, and then I'll move on to another series.
Right.
I mean, my goal is to just do a series for 3 or 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
keep going, do some other dramatic series, because I love drama. I want to break more into drama.
Okay.
Because my career has steadily gone more towards comedy, and I love comedy. It's a challenge, and I love making people laugh, but I also want to make people cry in a good way, not in a way of like, you're bad, but in a way of like, I understand you, and I want people to see that and be like, oh, I feel understood. Oh, let's all cry together and eat popcorn and sit in our pajamas. But yeah, so hopefully in 5 or 6 years or something, I'm on another show or doing a feature film or working with actors that I've admired all my life.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think you would prefer to do TV or film?
Both.
Both.
I mean, I have no preference.
Yeah.
I mean, I love TV because I love extended storylines.
Mm-hmm.
I love being able to work with a character for a really long time. But I also love film because I think John Barenthal,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how you say his name correctly. I'm a fan of his. He said something once. He was like, I always take roles that I know have a beginning, middle, and end, so I can make it the best possible performance. So I would love to do film for that reason.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do more film so that I can have a character I know his ending, and I can take him through a full arc and have it be a satisfying performance.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what I have to ask you this, who's your actor inspiration? Like, who's your favorite actor?
My favorite actor of this time is Mahershala Ali.
Ali,
Yes. I love that man. I will watch anything he's in because he has this. I'm a big fan of internal dialogues. So what I mean by that is if you're watching an actor and you see there's just something behind their eyes, like you see every thought. You can see every thought he has, and it's brilliant. And he's just so likable. Like you see him and you're like, oh, I love that guy, you know? And he's so natural. And I'm watching the newest season of True Detective right now, and he's playing 3 different versions of himself in a time in his life. And he's playing an older version, a middle-aged version, and a younger version. And just the I don't know, the mental capacity it takes to remember all of that while you're doing it is amazing, and it's on its own. But just his performance, just the way he embodies a character, I love the guy. And I love a lot of other actors as well, but he's like my favorite right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I think he's a lot of people's favorite now. Yeah, he's doing a great job.
I just hope he wins all the awards. That's
yeah. And we hope you continue to win awards.
Oh, thank you.
And
yeah.
You'll have your Oscar one day.
I hope so.
Have you been practicing your speech?
I have. I practice in the shower every other day. But yeah, no, I just don't want to leave anyone out when I give thanks, or if I give thanks, if I win. I don't know.
You will. You have to speak it into existence. It'll happen.
Yeah.
And you're doing the work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, let's remind everyone again, you are playing Dwight in Shining Armor.
Yes.
Airs when?
It airs March 18th.
Okay, on BYU TV.
Yes.
You guys don't miss it. He's worked really hard to get to this point, so
I have, and I just hope you enjoy, and I hope you continue to love what I do and what I make for you guys. So.
Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me at Sloane Siegel, SLOANESIEGEL.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Ashley Marie. You can find me on Instagram at Ms. Ashley Marie, and I look forward to chatting with you guys soon.
All right.
Thanks, Sloane.
Thank
Give
you
me a
very much.
hug.
Yay, thank you. I get to slide on the sliding shit.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.